Welcome to Tackle Talk Live, dedicated to making you a better fisherman. Proudly brought to you by our sponsors: The Boat Shop, 3J's Four-Way, Pride Rods, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, The Lakes Insurance Agency, V&M Baits. Now on to your hosts, Ranger Daiwa Pro Staff Steve Graff and V&M Baits President Kevin Jean.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Tackle Talk Live. Yeah, it's been a while. We know it's been a while. We feel strangers in these seats right now, but it's our Christmas edition and it's our final show for 2020. We took a little time off during the Thanksgiving holidays, a lot going on, and just not much fishing going on as well. So, and that's what we're all about. We're all about fishing. We know a lot of you guys out there like to hunt, and a lot of you are sitting in deer stands or in a duck blind or walk in the woods hunting for Mr. Bushytail, but we're going to talk a little bit of bass fishing today, kind of lead you into 2021, and as well as give you some great Christmas gift ideas. If you've got an angler in your family, you need to make sure you got a pen and paper handy, because we're going to give you some great gift ideas that you can buy right now. They're locally in this region. There's 2 or 3 stores that promote our show. We're going to make sure we give you some good places to go pick up those items that will make your angler a very happy camper come Christmas morning. Kevin?
You know, and we're finishing up tournament season. This past weekend was the Keith Combs tournament on Sam Rayburn.
Yep.
So, that's the last tournament that I know of in this region for 2020. So we've got the results. We'll kind of talk about and go over that. Kind of jump into everything coming in January 2nd, the BFL on Rayburn. January 3rd, the Outlaw Outdoors Sweet 16 event. So
right around the corner.
3 weeks?
Yeah.
Before we're wide open in 2021. So we're going to kind of go over them schedules and talk a little bit about that.
And but before we get to all that, again, thank you for tuning us in today. We appreciate you. But we got some sponsors we want to recognize right quick. And Kevin, the Boat Shop.
The Boat Shop. Mr. Raymond Kidd and his staff take great pride in keeping your boat and motor performing at its best. A certified Yamaha dealer and home on the best motor on the market today, the Yamaha Show. Raymond is a full support Garmin dealer offering the best in electronics and the new Garmin trolling motor. So stop by 2410 Sanford Avenue in Shreveport and let the Boat Shop take care of all your boating needs. Give them a call at 318-402-0399 or go to the ShreveportBoatShop.com.
And the place that I just left this afternoon, spent a little time out there, 3J's Four-Way, Cypress Knee Outdoors. Went in there looking for some things, got some couple of Christmas gifts for my grandsons, and just everything that you could want. They've got a great selection. They continue to build and enhance Cypress Knee Outdoors. Now they've got boots available. If you're looking for a new pair of boots for your guy for Christmas, hey, Cypress Knee Outdoors has got it. All the fishing tackle, rods, reels, baits hanging on the racks right now. Everything you could want. And I got some items here we're going to go over today that you can get those at Cypress Knee Outdoors. I also got a great deli. I picked up a little plate lunch before I left there today. Outstanding food. Just a great place to stop in. Take your time, visit John and the guys in the back. They'll be glad to show you around the store and show you everything they've got to offer, especially at Cypress Knee Outdoors. So give them a call at 318-238-HUNT for something you're looking for. Maybe you're looking for a gun. Guns and ammo have been hard to come by, but they've got a ton of shotgun shells on hand right now. Steel shot, especially at Cypress Knee Outdoors. And I've been around this area quite a bit in the last week. Finding steel shot has been a challenge, so they've got plenty of it at Cypress Knee Outdoors. So give them a call. Again, 238-HUNT, and they'll tell you, just ask them what you're looking for, and they'll see if they got it, and they can tell you, and you can make that quick drive out there. And it's located just off I-49, exit 127, right there at Cypress, Louisiana.
Next, Keith's Toledo Bend Tackle, located at 6302 State Highway 21 East in Hemphill, just across Pendleton Bridge. Stop in for the latest fishing report and shop all the right tackle to make your trip to Toledo Bend or Sam Rayburn a success. Whether your trip calls for bass fishing, white perch tackle, catfish bait, or or the Ultimate Fighting Shiner, Keith has you covered.
And Lakes Insurance Agency is an independent insurance agency that has been taking care of Texans' insurance needs for 25 years and more, offering auto, homeowners, boat, recreational vehicle, life, health, and commercial insurance. The owner, Clark Moore, is a local guide and a tournament angler who understands your insurance needs as a boat owner and wants to be your go-to guy for all your insurance needs. Give him a call. He'll give you a free quote. The insurance agency is located at 805 Southeast Stallings, Suite 3, Nacogdoches, Texas. Give them a call at 936-205-4467. That's 936-205-4467.
All right. I think that covers everybody.
I think, yeah, we got all of our sponsors in, so we're good. Okay, Kevin, let's just go ahead, kind of our year, TTL. It's our first year. I feel really good about what we accomplished this year. I feel really good about what we provided our viewers and listeners that have been tuning into our program. We hope we're giving you what you're after in terms of how, what, when, and where to go catch them. And especially we have now focused, and we took a little hint, Kevin, I feel like.
Yes.
We between Kevin and I, we've got some of the best contacts in the professional bass fishing world that you could ever want to hear. But we noticed that our viewership was not, the numbers weren't there that we were anticipating. And when we had some of the best on the business, it's like, we really don't want to hear from those guys.
Yeah, and that's kind of how Tackle Talk Live started. Me and Steve and I knew that we had the contacts, the pro divisions we had, able to go get all this content and information, and we started out that way. We, the Ott Defoes and so on and so forth that we had on the show, and then we realized that it was not and there's plenty of people that cover the large pro circuits,
right.
But and as we kind of got this thing started, we realized people here want to hear about Sam Rayburn, Toledo Bend.
Yeah. And maybe Lake Fork.
And Lake Fork, East Texas, Caddo Lake.
Yeah.
Want to know, people around here want to know what's winning tournaments on those lakes, what's it take to winning tournaments on those lakes. And once we kind of dialed into that, it just exploded.
Yeah, we realized then we had a viewership that's our base. You guys in that Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, East Texas area, Northwest Louisiana, we listened and we saw what the reaction was from you guys when we had winners on from Rayburn, Toledo Bend, especially the first place stringers and how they were being caught and those big, our numbers were out the roof. And we couldn't say thank you more. I mean, we really appreciate that because that's when we realized there's a niche in this market for us and we just need to cater to you. And that's what we're trying to do.
And when you really sit back and think of it, there's a tournament. We're going to go over the January schedule on Sam Rayburn here in just a minute.
Yeah.
There's a big tournament every weekend on Sam Rayburn.
Yep.
100 to 200 boats. That's 400, 500 people that's fishing that weekend in a tournament alone. How many visitors are coming to Toledo Bend and coming to Sam Rayburn? The fishing reports pages on Facebook are just huge. So, we opened our eyes and saw, you can have a podcast, a Facebook show here just covering Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, Caddo Lake, Lake Fork, here in our area, and it exploded, and we thank you for that.
And we're going to try to incorporate a little bit more this year than what we did. We probably didn't do a good job this past year in this area, and that was high school bass fishing. We're going to try to have some of these high school anglers on because we know that's another big market of people that everybody loves to have their high school kids interviewed. They love to hear what they're doing, how they're doing it, and some of these kids are really impressive.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm anxious to, me and Kevin have kind of already talked, we need to really zero in on that market a little bit more than what we did this past year. I think it's an area that we kind of neglected a little bit. And it wasn't intentional. We're just trying to give you the best of what's going on in each one of these bodies of water.
Yeah. And again, we're going to keep bringing the winners from every weekend, whether it's high school, college, the Bass Champs, BFLs, the new ABA series, so on and so forth. We're going to try to have those winners on every weekend. Something we know you guys want to hear, maybe how people caught them, so on and so forth. But let's go back, Steve. Let's talk about 2020. Once we kind of got in our niche and figured out what worked for us, we had some really, really good interviews.
Yeah, we did.
Some people that really spilled the beans on a lot of stuff. So
the top anglers from this region.
Yes, absolutely.
And some of them aren't fishing the tour necessarily, but they're fishing our local stuff, and there's some sticks out
Making
there.
a living just fishing local here.
Yeah, there's some really good sticks.
The most viewed show for 2020 for Tackle Talk Live was on the 49-pound stringer.
Yeah.
Danny Isles and Brian Shook caught. Danny Isles was the guest on the show. I'm not going to say by far the most viewed show, but it was the most viewed show for us in 2020.
Yeah.
Are you shocked by that? 49-pound stringer?
No, not with Danny Isles and his partner. Those guys have been fishing together for a long time now. And, of course, Danny was a University of Lamar fisherman for a while and graduated from Lamar University. And once he did, he just hit our fishing circuits that Kevin and I fished, the BFLs, the Toyota series, all the not Toyota, what is it?
You name it, he fishes if it's
he's
here.
fishing all the top stuff in this region, and he's one of the better anglers, or definitely one of the best young anglers out there.
Yeah.
And so it was great to have him on. He's very candid with us, very open with us with his information, and I thought Danny did a great job. And again, he's a guy I think we can always call on. He's always going to be at the top of the leaderboard 9 times out of 10, but it was a really good interview.
It really was. I mean, again, a 49-pound stringer, 5-fish stringer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had people as soon as it came on, just the views blew up, and I mean, as you can understand, understandably so.
That drew attention from all over the country.
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
that is rare. 49-pound stringer for a 5-fish limit.
And the good thing about Tackle Talk Live is whether the tournament's Saturday or Sunday, we're most of the time, 99% of the time, we are Monday at noon.
Yes.
So we're going to be the first show that has those guests on most of the time.
Right. And we're going to continue that in 2021, where Mondays will be our day. Again, we kind of got away from it a little bit here at the end of the fall, but just wasn't a lot going on. So, but anyway.
Your favorite show of the year?
Favorite show, one of my favorites was when we did the Cody Huff interview. Cody Huff is the collegiate national champion this past year, and Cody came down from Missouri.
Yes, Table Rock.
Came down from Missouri. That's his home water. Come to Toledo Bend in January or February and won back-to-back events for FLW, and then won the Open,
the Toyota Series.
The Toyota Series. And
back-to-back weekends on Toledo Bend.
Doing something that nobody has ever done on Toledo Bend, which was basically fishing out in deep water in 40 foot of water and isolating with his live scope fish with a spoon and in 35, 40 foot of water. Just something none of us have ever seen anybody else do. And I just thought that was a unique deal, a unique interview.
And he did a great job of breaking it down.
He really did. He did a wonderful job, and that was one of my favorite, but informative interviews.
And for any of you that missed that interview, that was very detailed. There's going to be a lot of tournaments. One, Toledo Bend, San Rayburn, Lake Fort this year, off the live scope out there in 50, 60 foot of water. Yep. Patrick Walters just showed a month or so ago on Lake Fort, it can be done. Yep. It will be done. He did that in February, Steve, I believe.
No, you're right.
It was February on Toledo Bend.
I think you're right.
There will be more tournaments won that way. And if you're somebody wanting to learn that technique, go back, go check out our YouTube channel, subscribe to it, and also go watch the Cody Huff interview. It will really dial in what he's doing and how he's doing it.
Yeah, and again, he did a great job of explaining it. And of course, for me, one of the things, what am I looking forward to most in 2021? I'm really looking forward to the Solo Top 150 by the ABA. They just come out with it. 150 anglers on that tour. They're capping it at 150. Going to some of the best waters in our region, fishing for $20,000. It's a 2-day event. I'm looking forward to that. I think it's something new. It's something different that we hadn't had around here. And for those of us that have tried to fish the Everstart and God, what's the name I'm looking for?
The Everstart series?
No,
the Strian. I mean,
what's it been called? I'm totally
oh Lord,
my mind.
Everstart. See, it went from Everstart to Strian.
No,
wasn't it Strian before?
No, it's just anyway.
You got me, Steve.
The FLW tour. It's not the Toyota series, but anyway,
Costa.
Okay, thank you. The Costa series. That was the one where. It's just gotten where they just went up and up and up every year. We started out $800 entry fees on those, and all of a sudden now you're $2,000 basically. When it's all said and done, you're basically putting out $2,000 to fish a three-day event. And I thought we need somebody to come out with something a lot less expensive. You're still fishing for $20,000, And they did it. ABA, hats off to you guys with ABA out of Alabama. I think y'all did a great job. I think you nailed it. I'm looking forward to these events. I think they'll be really well done. Chris Wayan, good job, my friend. And we're looking forward to those first ones, which is going to be February the 6th on Toledo Bend.
Yep. And so for me, my favorite show of the year, I guess you can say shows segment, was the Hemp Hill Gang.
Yeah.
We had,
great interview.
We had Mr. Harold Allen on, Tommy Martin. We can go down the list, but just hearing Larry Nixon, we had those three guys on who were the original Hemp Hill Gang back in the 70s and 80s.
Yep. Jack Haynes.
And I'm sorry, we had those three on for the Hemp Hill Gang. That's the three interviews we did. And Mr. Tommy and Mr. Harold, just hearing them, and Mr. Larry Nixon as well, hearing how they got started guiding, how they got started tournament fishing. It was, for me, for somebody who makes a living in this industry, just to hear how it was then, and their first Bassmaster Classic appearances. For me, that was my favorite shows of the year, just being able to talk to them on how they got started, how it was done back in the 70s and 80s. And I was amazed. I was a kid in the candy store,
Exactly. And I've had the opportunity to sit down, through some other things I've done in the past 13 years, sit down with some of these old timers and on a porch. If I'm pre-fishing at a lake, and sometimes I've stayed with a couple of these guys, and just to go sit on a porch and visit with them, talk about how it was back in the 60s and 70s and how tough it was, and how some of them were down to their last nickel and won a tournament that propelled their career to the next level. And if they hadn't won it, they'd be an engineer today, or they'd be owning a grocery store or something other than bass fishing.
Well, and I didn't know Harold was that close to winning the Classic. I'll be honest. As much history and everything as I know about our sport, I realized he came in a second, but I didn't realize he should have won. And so on and so forth.
I look at like any other sport. If you're a fan of baseball, basketball, football, know the history. Know those legends that came before, the guys that are playing today, because that's where the game was made. That's where bass fishing was made. The Larry Nixons, the Denny Browers, the Tommy Martins, those are the guys that forged a trail that we're getting to fish today. And that's why it's so popular and so exciting today, is because of those guys that came before us, man.
Yes, absolutely.
Know your history. Learn that history.
And they break it down in all three segments. So you can go back again on our YouTube channel and watch the interview with Mr. Tommy Martin. You can watch the interview with Mr. Harold Allen and Larry Nixon. Great interviews. All three men do an excellent job of really breaking down how they got started, all the Bassmaster Classic appearances they got into, financial problems here and there. They really break it down for us. Great history lesson in our sport.
Yeah, Zell Rowland's another one that we had opportunity to visit with that, has fallen on some tough times here recently. He talked about in the beginning what it was like, but he also talked about what it's like for some of these old timers today and some of the challenges they've got with trying to stay competitive in today's market. And so the marketplace has changed a lot. You've got to be a promoter now. You've got to be a guy that can sell a product. You can't just go out there and catch fish and be successful now. Don't get me wrong. That doesn't hurt, but they want a personality now. These companies are looking for sales reps. They want people that can push a product. As Kevin will tell you, he's looking for guys that can't just catch fish. He wants guys that can move V&M product for him. And that's what it's all about. And but things have changed, times have changed, and we're going to continue to bring you some of those stories and over the next year, and looking forward to hearing from the old timers and these new young bucks coming up.
Absolutely. Well, talking about young bucks, let's go back this past weekend. Like we said, the final tournament of 2021 in our area, big tournament that is in our area here. The Keith Combs tournament was on Sam Rayburn this past weekend on Sunday. It was raining. It was cold. It was windy. And honestly, I can say I'm kind of glad I don't have a boat right now. I wasn't able to fish it because it was miserable. But they caught him, Steve. First place, Mr. Eric Brigman, 23-25. Fish solo, won the event by himself, solo. Second place, good friends of mine, Team V&M boys, Cole Moore, Colby Miller, had 21-11. And third place, another solo, John Frazier, had 20 pounds and 85 ounces. And I can tell you, Steve, for the weather they had, these boys caught them.
They really did. because the wind was howling.
Yes, and it was raining. It was cold.
Yes,
and I know
nasty.
right before weigh-in, they had a very bad storm blow through.
Yeah.
Right when weigh-in was starting. So, I mean, for to see those weights has me excited for January.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there was a 9 caught big bass. Chris Wilson, who we had on the show, had a 913 big bass. There was an 805 big bass. To see those weights coming in right now on as brutal of a day as it was when guys really couldn't move around, there's going to be some things happening beginning of January.
Yeah, and to me, Sam Rayburn's starting to remind me of Caddo Lake. Anytime there's bad weather, the fish seem to really turn on there. Caddo Lake's the same way. You go to Caddo Lake on a bluebird day with no wind, you might as well leave your boat in a trailer because it's brutal. Sam Rayburn's gotten where it's like that. You know, calm days, slick water. Rayburn can be just as tough, but you let a little bad weather come through, and those fish seem to turn on at Sam Rayburn really well, just like they do on Caddo Lake.
Yeah, they do, and you know that the shallow water bite starting, the rattle trap bite, chatterbait bite over the top of that grass, the swim jig bite, I know is really starting up. Wyatt Franks, a good friend of mine, another V&M guy. I think he finished 4th in this event. Him and Cody. They finished 4th in this event, but they won the Outlaw Last Team Standing tournament last weekend.
Oh.
And the final day, championship day, the championship round, they had 26 pounds.
Wow.
And he's catching them 2 ways. He's catching them, and he posted a video on it, and that's how he's catching them. He's catching them with a swim jig over the top of the grass.
Yeah.
And for a big bite, he's throwing a football jig in the brush piles out in 12 to 15 foot of water, 18 foot of water. You know, he has some individual brush piles that's still holding fish on them,
right.
But a lot of those fish are leaving and going shallow. I mean, it's going to be a typical January rattle trap, square bill, spinnerbait, chatterbait fishing, going on in January.
Well, real quick, Kevin, let's hop over to Toledo Bend just for a second. We got February. Well, let's see. I think the last weekend of January, there's a tournament going on at Toledo Bend. But then also there's the Solo Top 150 the first weekend of February. My question is, are we going to see any grass return to Toledo Bend this next spring? No,
it's not there. It hasn't. And I say that, it just hasn't showed itself, Steve.
Yeah.
All fall, Toledo has never, the grass has not showed itself yet for Toledo. So I don't see.
And we had pretty
we had high water. We had ideal conditions in the fall for it to happen, and it never happened. So I don't see how it can happen come spring. I'm a little nervous because I don't know. We've been waiting, saying Toledo Bend is going to make this comeback. It's going to make this comeback. I'm really nervous. I'll be honest. I'm very nervous about it.
Is that going to send guys north, you think? Put more pressure on northern fish?
It is going to put some more, because those fish up there, they're staying shallow no matter what.
Right.
The fish on the south end are going to relate to the channel, the river and the channel swings. And the bad thing about the south end of the lake is those fish are roaming for food.
Right.
They're just chasing bait
Hard
because
to stay on top of them.
They're there to catch 20 pounds one day, might zero the next.
Yeah.
So it is the south end. If we don't have any grass, it can be tough this year, and I'm worried. I was really excited thinking Toledo's going to make this comeback where the fish is there. They're just roaming, chasing bait in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
So, February is a big month on Toledo. You've got the ABA, you got the BFL, you got Bass Champs,
right.
So on and so forth. So big month January on Rayburn, big month February on Toledo. I just hope the fishing gets better.
Yeah. I'll give you a quick lake report from Lake Fork, Texas. Talked to Johnny Geis this past week, and Johnny said the white perch are absolutely on fire on Lake Fork. And if you've got live scope, there ain't a spot you can't go to on Lake Fork. And you turn that live scope on and you find them treetops out there, you'll find crappie on just about every tree out there in deeper water. Anywhere from, he's fishing up to 45 foot of water last week, up to 10 and 12 foot of water. So if you don't have the live scope, use your electronics, whatever you've got, and go out and find those deeper tops, deeper trees, because the fish are set up in them right now, and they are catching them over at Lake Fork, Texas. So get over if you want to catch a good mess of crappie, or you can give one of our guys a call over. Johnny Geis is one of them. Well, we can get you his number. So just check it out, because I'm telling you, Lake Fork, Texas right now is really on fire for the white perch and the crappie fishing.
And I want to go back to what I was talking about about Toledo being, and I'm saying I'm hoping the fishing gets better for the spring.
Yeah.
They're catching them right now, Steve.
Oh,
You can go on Toledo Bend and catch them right now.
I saw that.
In 18 to 25 foot of water, you can go catch them right now. They are grouped up. They're still roaming, but you can find them with your electronics. And once you pull up and they're there, you can catch them.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to come off saying it's tough right now. They are biting on Toledo Bend right now. I know people that are really, really catching them and catching lots of numbers.
Yeah.
And we know it's like that in December. It can be like that in January. But as those temperatures warm up, is what I was alluding to. Is I'm hoping the shallow bite with no grass and no cover, unless we get a lot of rain and it comes up in the bushes, it might be good in the spring.
That's a different ball game.
That's a whole different ball game. Yeah. I'm just saying I'm down in the dumps on there's no grass, there's no shallow vegetation on the south end of Toledo.
Well, I'm glad to hear the trap bites going on again, because that's a great time to introduce a kid. Now, you ain't going to take them out there in freezing weather, of course, especially a day like today. It's too cold. Kids don't handle that very well. Adults don't handle that very well. But if you get some good warm days, take a kid out there, tie on a rattle trap, chunk and wind. I mean, it doesn't get any easier than that to learn to teach kids how to catch fish. And it's a lot of fun. Like Kevin said, you may not catch those 5 and 6 pounders, but you may catch them up to 3 pounders. You get on the right school, you'll catch some good fish out of them. So it's a lot of fun. And don't neglect, just because it's December, don't think the fish aren't biting.
Oh, because, no, they are.
It can be a good time to go. And a lot of you guys are still hunting or in the woods, and they're not on the lake, so they're not near as crowded right now.
Right.
All right. Buyer's guide, your holiday fishing buyer's guide. Where are the guys you need to turn to? I've got several products here I've pulled out that I think are really good products. Some of them I actually picked up today. And Kevin, one of the ones I picked up today, and it's not the right time of year for it, but it's a great stocking stuffer, and they sold the heck out of these. And I wish... Remember when you were at Sam
You went
Rayburn,
to Cypress Knee, didn't you, today?
Yeah.
I can see where you got that already.
When me and you went to Sam Rayburn, and we're in our boats in front of the motel room there in that sandy area, the gnats were eating us alive. You couldn't hardly sit in your boat. They were so bad. He's got a product called No Gnats. No Gnats is the product that I wish I'd have had that day. It's a little spray bottle. Just put it on your hands, put it on your face, put it around your neck, and you are good to go, and it will keep them away. He said it's been absolutely amazing how many of these they have sold.
It works. It works. I will attest to that. I know that it
So
does
No
work.
Gnats, it's N-A-T-Z, No Gnats. It's on the counter in Cypress Knee Outdoors. He's got several of them on the counter right now. Great stocking stuffer right there.
And let me say this, for a stocking stuffer, a J-Bug bag and a wild crawl bag, a small V&M bag fits perfectly in a stocking stuffer. Your local dealer has them, most all your local tackle stores. But no, seriously, what better way? I mean, what else to get a fisherman for a stocking stuffer than baits that he'll fish with?
Exactly.
And ladies, if you're wondering what there's so many colors. Green pumpkin, black and blue, you can't go wrong.
Right.
Green pumpkin, black and blue, you're fine. So those two colors. V&M baits, J-Bug, Wild Crawl, Flat Wild, whatever you want to give them, the small packages fit perfectly in your stocking stuffer.
Yeah. Another thing that Kevin's got one, I've been able to distribute several of these to guys. Cypress Knee has them on the racks, ready to go. Stingray fishing line cutter. This is one of the best tools that I've got in my boat. I mount it on the sidewall of my boat. It cuts braid, it cuts mono, it cuts fluorocarbon like it's butter. It's incredible. These are really good tools. You can mount them, or you can use the lanyard that comes in the package. And just another great stocking stuffer, great Christmas gift for any angler in your family.
Fish Life, and we got several of them up here on the table. Fish Life has lots of products. This is the first aid. We've talked about several times the weights that they come, the weights that we put them for in the live well to hold the fish down. Any type of that stuff fits perfect in your stocking stuffers. So check out Fish Life. Tackle Warehouse has it. You can go to the Fish Life website and check them out there.
I've had some people ask me actually on a website of mine about what's a good set of scales. Okay, no, I'm not going to show you a good set of scales. I'm fixing to show you the best set of scales that money can buy, and this is the Cullum Right. It's probably the best scales if you want to spend. Now I'm talking these are $200 scales. These are not
if
cheap.
you can find them.
If you can find them, you can find them. I think Tackle Warehouse has them, but Amazon is carrying them as well. But these are actually my backup that I have. It's got a little box that you can put them in, a carrying case. I mean, it's that delicate and it's like a mini computer. This is the best set of scales that I've ever owned. They work great. They tell you what fish to cull. When you get to that 6 fish and you weigh them, it'll tell you which one you need to take out of the live well based off the color of the bobbers. It's all color coordinated. It is a great Christmas gift. Now, there are cheaper ones out there. There are some that are made by Strike King, Rapala. They have different ones out there on the market that are a lot cheaper, less than $85. You can get a good set of scales. They won't do what these will do, but there's some good scales out there. Any angler, it's a tournament guy or just a pleasure fisherman, a lot of times you catch those big fish, you want to know what he weighs. Well, give your angler just a set of scales. That's another thing that's a great gift.
And I will say this, if you can find them, buy them, because these are very, very hard to find because people are buying them up so quickly. Amazon has them, Tackle Warehouse has them every now and then, but they are extremely difficult to find.
Another thing that I like, I got this a few years ago. This is by Ardent Reels. It's a reel cleaning kit. It comes with everything inside the kit that you can need: a brush. It's got your chemicals. It's got your what they call their reel butter, lubricant. It's got everything in there. I've got Q-tips in here as well as some swabs. It's got the towelette. It's got a screwdriver. I mean, it's just a neat little kit. And again, this is Ardent Reels. You can probably, again, get this, I would assume, Tackle Warehouse, I'm 90% sure will carry this. And so this is another great gift idea for the angler in your family as well.
Steve, you got all kinds of stuff over there.
I got all kinds of stuff. And I'm telling you right now, this is something that I actually found at iCast 2 years ago. They got all kind of defunct product lines. From cooler, this is the cooler defunct. They actually have one for your pets. I actually have a bottle, and I sprayed my daughter's dog Rusty with it. He don't like being sprayed with it, but it takes away the smell of a dog smell, and it really works. And some of these things you think, how good do they really work? I'm telling you right now, this cooler defunct, if you've got a fish smell in your cooler, or you've got barbecue chicken or something in there you just can't get rid of, get this right here. I'm telling you right now, it will take care of whatever smell you've got in your cooler. It's really a great product. And you can go to, let's see here, defunctproducts.com, defunctproducts.com. They got a whole line of products that, again, that's another great gift idea for any outdoorsman that you've got in your family, deer hunter, duck hunter, whatever. Anything that you use a cooler for, that's a great product. This is something that I've had a lot of guys, they wear the face mask, especially in the wintertime, and they fog up, or even your sunglasses sometimes will fog up. This is a chemical, and I'm not sure where you can get this, Kevin. I just happen to have a bunch of it. I'm sure you can go online. It's called Parker's Perfect. It's a solution for fogging problems. If you coat your lenses on the inside, and it keeps them from fogging up, your mask, your helmets. A lot of guys wear these motorcycle helmets in the boat. For
the next 2 months, it's going to be a lot of motorcycle helmets.
Or they'll be wearing the face mask, the safe face mask, which I wear. This stuff right here will keep your mask from fogging up on you. Another great stocking stuffer. It's called Parker's Perfect. And you can probably go online, look it up online, probably find it online as well.
For you, real quick, for you guys that are wanting to buy yourself a Christmas present, and I was just talking to Mr. Raymond Kidd at the boat shop the other day. He wanted me to remind you about his Garmin units he has there. He is one of the only, I know in Louisiana, I'm East Texas, I don't know of another Garmin trolling motor dealer. Off the top of my head. Right. He wanted me to remind you about that. And also, if you really are in the market for a very big Christmas gift, coming soon, very soon, I think you can already pre-order them, the boat shop will be carrying Camus boats.
Yeah, he should have some on ground come January.
But you can pre-order.
Yeah, and by the way, there will not be a boat show this coming January in Shreveport, but some of the dealers are looking to do in-house boat shows, so we'll try to inform you of that when we know about those. We'll let you know where they're going on at. Another product that I don't know if Kevin uses, but I use this a lot. This is a great product for lubrication, for spraying on the eyes of your rod when you're fishing in freezing weather to keep your eyes from freezing up. Real magic. It is just guns, rods, reels, you name it. It's just a great lubricant, puts a good coating. Fishing line. I use it on my fishing line a lot when I'm spooling on new line. Or maybe I've used that line a lot. I'll stretch it out, and then I'll spray this on as I re-spool it back on, just to kind of enhance the line, make it a little supple, a little softer. It's just great product. I really like it, and it's got so many uses. Like I said, from guns to rods and reels to whatever you got needs to be lubricated. This will do it. Real magic. Good product. A good pair of stainless steel pliers. That is something that I don't care how many anglers you talk to. Every angler can always use another pair of pliers. These are good ones. This happens to be one of those multi-tool sets, but they are stainless steel. I use these actually in my shop. I've got a set in my boat that I use. So you can't have too many pairs of pliers. That's another great idea. But stainless steel is important because they won't rust on you. And because you can buy so many of those cheap pair of pliers, they'll rust forever, and it's hard to keep them sharp. A good pair of stainless steel tools will last a long time.
Again, all great stocking stuffers for anybody trying to buy the fishermen in their family some good ideas for the week.
This here is a line sharpener. This is made by Berkeley. There's a couple on the market out there. It's also a line stripper. It's a hook sharpener. It actually will strip the line off your reels really quick. Just feed it through on one side, it comes out the other. Or you can actually sharpen hooks on the outside of it. It's got a little turning wheel on there, a little grinding wheel that you can sharpen hooks on. It's just a neat little gadget to have, and saves an angler a lot of time when it comes to if you change out a lot of line on your reels. This is something that really comes in handy. I don't use it near as much as I should, but a lot of times I forget I got it. But yeah, this is a really good tool to have, and it's a great Christmas gift. A couple other things I've got. This right here, and they don't sponsor the show, but I don't know what Kevin used, but I use this a lot.
I use that exact same bottle.
Yeah, Lucas Oil. This is a slick mist. It's a speed wax that you put on your boat. And a lot of guys, boats today are expensive, and you got to take care of them, guys. The sun is the worst enemy of a boat, and oxidation will occur. But when you use this kind of product, again, from Lucas, it's called the Slick Mist. Lucas Oil has a great line of products for washing, cleaning, stripping stuff off your boat, getting gunk off your boat. But this is there's mist wax that you spray on. Just wipe it off with a towel or soft cloth, and I'm telling you, it'll have your boat looking like a brand new penny in about 5 minutes.
I know Keith Toledo and Tackle carries these bottles. I think they're $9.99, $19.99, yep. one of the two. But I know Keith carries them.
Keith does carry that. Let's see here. Another product that I've used, and I actually did a video tip of the week on this. This is by Rust-Oleum. This is called Never Wet. What this is a fabric coating that you apply to a fabric to make it waterproof. I use this on all my rain suits, my two rain suits. At the end of the season, I will go out and I'll hang them in my garage, and I will spray all the seams on my jacket. Where I get leaks, where most of the leaks occur on 90% of your rain gear, it's going to be on the seams. This product, I'll just coat it twice. I'll coat it, let it dry for a day, come back and coat it again. And I have very few leaks, if any, on my product. And I think this has a lot to do with it. You're basically just adding the waterproofing back to the fabric, because in the seams it tends to wear off, or you roll them up, you put them in your boat, and they get pulled around, drug around, and you kind of slowly knock off that protection that's on there. So this kind of reapplies that protection back to your jacket. Boots, shoes, tennis shoes. I hate boots. I hate fishing in them. I'd rather fish in tennis shoes. I'll actually spray them on my tennis shoes and waterproof my tennis shoes with this product. It works great. I highly recommend it. Rust-Oleum. Never Wet. That's the name of it.
And we all know there's nothing worse than having a hole in your rain gear when it's pouring down rain and you're trying to fish all day in a tournament.
I'm telling you, because it can absolutely be brutal. And one other product I've got, I'm trying to think, what do you call this, Kevin? Do you even know what this is called?
Ooh.
It's a hook remover. Yeah. That's what it is. I know exactly what it is. It's called a hook remover.
I thought you was asking me the brand. I was fixing I don't know
no. I know what brand. This is actually a Bill Dance version. It's Bill Dance. I've had this for a long time. This thing right here has saved more fish from me When you're hooked deep and they got them hooked in the gullet, this little tool right here, I actually gave to two of my co-hosts on another program. I gave these for Christmas last year, and they thought it was the stupidest thing they ever got. But then a week or a month later, they're telling me how much they love this tool and how much it helped them. And I said, well, I wouldn't have given it to you if I didn't think it was good. But anyway, they bragged on it. I'm telling you, if you hook fish deep, this thing right here will save your fish and keep fish alive for you in that live well instead of tearing up fish's gullet and making them bleed. This little tool will save your fish and save you from having to weigh dead fish or even release a dead fish. This is a good tool.
And it fits perfectly into your little, your I call it your scissor slot.
Yes.
It fits perfectly right into your boat where they have the little slots cut out for you. Put all your tools. It fits right down there. All you got to do is grab it out. I mean, I got one. I keep in my boat year round.
But it's got a hook on the end of it. You just reach in there and you grab your hook and you pull it, and it actually pops that hook loose inside that gullet, inside the deep throat of the fish, and just removes it with no problem. And it's an amazing little tool, and it's a tool that I recommend for any bass angler, especially a tournament bass angler. You ought to have a set of those. Some guys use the long scissors.
No.
And those, if it works for them, great. I'm just telling you, this is a much easier tool to deal with, much easier to work with. Yeah. Anyway.
You had all your gadgets over there?
I got the box over here, a paper box, if you want that. But
so real quick, Steve, something we haven't got to go on. We haven't had a show since this happened, but we want to give a shout out and congratulations to, I know a very good friend of both of ours, my, I guess, former team partner now, Mr. Daryl Gleason, who qualified for the Bassmaster Elite Series.
Yes.
And I can tell you, I saw firsthand how much he works at it. And, we've been tournament fishing together probably 10, 12 years now. And we were talking about it then, 10, 12 years ago. Yeah. He was talking about it, just whatever it takes to make the Elite Series.
And he's had a vision and a goal.
He has had that vision for 15 years now, I know. But he knew it was a process. And you can't just say, I'm going to go pro and I'm going to go do it. He got away from his job. Yeah. And when he started guiding, he did the guiding thing hard for 4 or 5 years, knew it, and trying, and then he got into the opens, and it's taken a little while through the opens, but he's made it. Not many of us can say we've ever made it to the Bassmaster Elite Series. No. That is kind of the ultimate goal for everybody out there. And man, big shout out to Daryl, because I know it's a huge relief. And you talk about some drama.
To get there?
To qualify. So it all went down. He finished 5th in the Central Opens.
Right.
And long story short.
But they only take 4.
So they had 2 guys in the top 4 of that event. If they would have finished top 4 in the overall points from the 2 divisions combined, they would have taken the next person from the Centrals.
Yeah.
And it was, after day 1, Daryl wasn't in. It took day 2 of the Open up in Alabama to get him in, and Mark Frazier ended up double qualifying, which got Daryl in through the Open. So it was a very stressful couple of weeks. I know that.
Yeah.
I was spent many nights talking to him on the phone, trying to talk him off the cliff when things didn't go right. But he made it. He's in. Looking forward to a great 2021.
And we got another guy Kevin's familiar with. We're both familiar with. A good friend of ours. We thank the world up. Justin Cooper is qualified for the Toyota Series and it's part of the Big 5 of the MLF now. And congratulations, Justin. He's fixing to jump in the deep water with the big boys.
MLF Pro Circuit.
MLF Pro Circuit. That's right. And so congratulations to Justin. I know that's something he's had a vision. He's had a goal. And the advice that Justin took, I'm sure Daryl took. Everybody I ever talked to on this professional has said, when I ask them, what's the one thing you need to become a guide?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Time on the water.
Learn how to catch fish in all conditions, under all weather conditions. Learn how to read the water. Even if you're fishing and guiding on the same body of water. Learn how to fish wood, vegetation, riprap. It just makes you a better angler. And when you got to do it every day to perform for customers, because you want customers to catch fish, it makes you a better angler. It
allows you 2 things. One, to have an income, to be able to afford these very expensive, all this expensive stuff we need along with a boat.
Right.
It gives you that income, and it gives you time on the water to prepare. As you're guiding, you're preparing. So, and actually, Justin, I'm more than positive this is his first year to fish. This is his first year to fish the full Toyota Series, and he qualified his very first year. So that's
impressive.
That's very, very impressive.
So, What else we got?
January 2021 calendar for Rayburn. Sam Rayburn. So just going to this is the tournaments, the big tournaments going down on Sam Rayburn for January. So we start off January 2nd, that Saturday, BFL. So again, 3 weeks away?
Yeah.
You know,
3 weeks.
From the 2021 season starting. The very next day, January 3rd, the Sweet 16 by the Outlaw Outdoors. Next weekend, January 9th, Bass Champs that Saturday. Again, very next weekend. The Rattle Trap Tournament is on Sunday out of Humphrey Pavilion there.
And that's a big event, isn't it?
Very big event. Steve, everything I've just named is going to be 200 boats.
Oh, yeah.
At least.
Minimum. Yeah.
At minimum. So
right.
That's every weekend, 200 boats. January 23rd, the Outlaw Team Series, which they just started this year, which was a huge deal for them.
Yeah.
Then the 28th through the 30th is the Toyota Series. MLF Big Five Toyota Series now.
Big Five Toyota Series.
And then January 31st is the Sweet 16 by Outlaw Outdoors. That's just January.
Yeah.
So, to say the least, we will have plenty to cover here on Tackle Talk Live starting January, which our first show will be January 4th.
Yep. Looking forward to that. And looking forward to fishing season it's right around the corner. And can't wait. I mean, we're going to have some really good Sam Rayburn reports. We've got some early tournaments on Toledo Bend this year and I've actually got 2 or 3 on Toledo that I hadn't even have any last year, I think, on Toledo Bend. So Toledo Bend is going to be, I think, a little bit more active this coming season.
It is.
Which will help take pressure off Sam Rayburn, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, it will. There's some good tournaments coming. So like I said, February is a big month for Toledo Bend. So,
all right. Is that it?
I think that's it for our show.
Well, all I want to say is I want to thank Kevin for the opportunity to be a part of this program. I'm absolutely loving what we're doing, and I love where Tackle Talk Live is headed. We can't say enough. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning us in, seeing us at the boat ramps, at the weigh-ins, saying hello. Hey, I watched the show, giving us some feedback. Again, we appreciate it, whether it's good or bad. We're big boys. We can take any negative talk. We're pretty tough. So if you got something you want us to talk about, though, shoot us a message on our Facebook page. Like, hey, guys, talk about this, or maybe bring this particular guide on.
Or if you want to sponsor.
Yeah, if you want to sponsor, we'd love to have you. We'll send you a packet. Kevin's got a packet ready to go, and we'll be glad to send that to you. And again, we're looking forward to 2021. We'll have lake reports, continue to do our guest interviews for both Toledo Bend, Sam Rayburn, Lake Fork, maybe even Lake of the Pines. That's another going to be a hot body of water, I think, in 2021. So put that one on your bucket list. If you haven't been to Lake of the Pines, that's a place you need to go. I went there twice or 3 times last year. And I'm telling you right now, 2 of my 3 best trips all year were at Lake of the Pines. It's a great place to go fish. And I hear the white perch are killing it right now at Lake of the Pines. So it's another place the white perch are biting. But we're going to continue to post videos and information that will hopefully continue to make you a better angler. And for James, Kevin, myself, Steve Graff, we want to wish each and every one of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we will see you on January the 4th of 2021.